My name is Amy. We live in a small city. Our house isn't that fancy because we inherited it from my grandfather. I was born and raised in that house. Hence, it contains a lot of memories. My father was also born and raised there. My dad worked in a real estate company. My mother passed away when I was 6 years old. It was a very painful experience to lose a mother at a very young age. I was raised by my dad for 2 years until he became busy with his job. He used to travel a lot, hence I was alone most of the time. He decided to hire a nanny to take care of me. This nanny had a daughter who was the same age as me. At first, she was very kind to me. She used to take care of me like I was her real daughter. My dad fell in love with her and decided to marry her. I was happy for my dad, since it was his first time smiling since my mom passed away. He then adopted Melissa as his stepdaughter. At that time, we were in grade 5 and we went to the same school. My dad became busy, hence we used to see him less. My stepmom suddenly changed and started mistreating me. She used to give me a lot of chores to do, while Melissa was not doing anything. I used to wake up early to wash the utensils, clean the house, and do laundry before going to school. She even declined to take me to school. Hence, I had to use a bus. She didn't want me hanging out with anybody. I even had to help Melissa do her homework. I used to cry every night while staring at my mom's picture, asking why she had to leave me here. She was a hypocrite, because when my dad arrived from his trip, she would act nicely. She would pretend as if she was taking care of me. My dad noticed that I had lost weight, but my stepmom told him that I was refusing to eat. At school, my grades dropped, and my class teacher called me. She asked me what the problem was, but I didn't want her to know about my problems. I trusted her, but I was that kind of person who doesn't open up. She told me that I could tell her anything, as I was like her own daughter. Her name was Miss Jackie, and I had known her since I was a kid because she was friends with my mother. My stepmom continued mistreating me, but I didn't want to tell my dad because it could have raised conflict between them. One day, she asked my dad if we could sell the house and move to another place. My dad declined and she was angry. My grades continued dropping, and the principal summoned my dad. My dad was angry at me. When I tried telling him the reason for my failure, he didn't believe it. He asked my stepmom about it, and she said that I had failed because I used to hang out a lot rather than study. Of course, it was a lie, but my dad didn't believe me. I was therefore grounded and not allowed to go anywhere. My stepmom told my dad that she wanted to start her own business. My dad decided to take our savings to invest in her business. I tried advising him not to do so, but he didn't hear me. One day, I was going through some of my mom's stuff and found a letter. It was from my maternal grandmother. I decided to open it and found a key. I didn't know what the key was meant for. The letter was addressed to me. I just kept it and I didn't tell anyone about it. One day, my dad went on a business trip. I had arrived home early without my stepmom noticing because I wasn't feeling well. As I was heading to my bedroom, I overheard my stepmom talking on the phone with somebody. She said, "Damon, give me some more time. I haven't attained the target. I just got the savings. I need another 6 months to make him bankrupt and that daughter of his." I knew that she was talking about my dad. I didn't know what to do, because if I had told Dad, he wouldn't believe me. I decided to tell Miss Jackie about it. She felt sorry for me, for what I had undergone all those years. We had to find a way to expose her. I decided to come back home and rest. Somebody exposed my dad's company strategies, and my dad got fired. I knew it was my stepmom who leaked the strategies, and I knew that I had to look for a way to expose her. One day, when I was cleaning my room, I noticed that some part of the floor had cracked. When I observed closely, it wasn't cracked, but rather had been left intentionally. I removed that part and found a lock. I wondered what it was for, but then I remembered that I had a key. I tried it, and it opened. Inside there was a lot of money and a letter to me. It said that money was left for me for my college tuition fee by my mother from her inheritance. I realized that my mother had known that she had little time on earth and decided to plan for my future. I locked the same and pretended that I never saw anything. The following day, I stole my stepmom's phone and installed a tracker that was noticeable. I made sure that I was able to listen and know where she was going. She woke up and said that she was going shopping, but I knew that she was meeting Damon as I had heard her last night. I waited till she had arrived, and I went to the study room where my dad was. I placed the phone on the table, and at first, he was surprised. When he heard what my mother was saying on the other side, he couldn't believe it. He asked for forgiveness and for not trusting me. We called the police officers who investigated the matter. My stepmom was then arrested. I later told my dad about the treasure, and we decided to start our own estate company.